Actually, this is Astro A40, like tournament ready for gaming.
Oh yeah,
So
nice.
I have like a whole mix amp.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. I can't really like pick it up and show you, but yeah, it has two nozzles, one for
Yeah.
like volume for chat game, one for like volume control, and then it has like different modes that you can customize on your computer. So like if you want to hear in depth, if you want to hear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's wild. Okay. See, I don't know
Yeah,
how to use those. I've
yeah,
seen
they're
people with them, but I
complicated.
don't know. So now when you could set that, like if you're going to record like a stream or something like that, you could set all kind of different.
Yes, sir. So if you want to set it to like competitive, like you're gaming, right? You want to just focus on gaming, you can do it with one click. And then if you want to go back to your stream, you can click it back, and then you can do PC to game. So I've connected like my monitor to my other monitor to my PC to my PS4 Pro. I don't have a PS5, sorry. But
What
um,
the hell?
yeah, but anyways, it connects all together, and so it's really cool. It's really cool.
That is cool. Hell yeah, man. Well, welcome to the podcast, dude.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so like cheesed, like you're not a celebrity, but it's like I've been watching you for a little bit, so like you kind of are, I guess, you know.
That's weird to hear, but because I mean, I just get on here and bullshit with people, and half the time I don't know, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm
Right,
asking questions, just being
right.
myself.
Hey
But
man, the genuine people like genuality, genuine. I don't know
yeah,
English sometimes, you know.
I don't either. I know. I always joke with people when they're like, "Oh, did you set this up or did you do this?" I'm like, "No, bro, I'm dumb as hell. I was in the Marine Corps, not the Air Force, okay? Like like you got to be smart to go in that shit, okay? No, I went in
Right.
the dumb way. Like that's, my daughter went in the Air Force. She's smart as hell. But
Right, right.
no, no.
You got
But
brains for one and bronze for the other, right?
right. Exactly. Oh yeah. In fact, yesterday we were doing a job working on we were replacing some doors and windows on this house.
Okay.
And it's an older place and it had this awning on the outside of the window that we just kind of worked around. We didn't take it off.
Right.
And it's real low. You had to, so the lady that is kind of like hiring us for the job, she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, did you guys hit your head on that?" Like, yeah. And my buddy was like, "Yeah, he hit his head a couple times." I said, she goes, "Well, did you learn your lesson?" I said, "No, it takes me like 20 times to do so, to bang my head to learn something. Like I'm
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
you
going to
gotta.
keep hitting a fucking wall until, like I'm either going to break through it or just break myself. Like, I don't know."
It sounds like this guy I know that plays Airsoft. Every time he throws a nade, it's never good. It's never good. It's one of those. Hey, I got the no, 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 no. We'll handle.
Yeah,
We'll
don't
walk
throw
in.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw, oh, I know what I was watching. I was watching a live stream with Mr. Off Topic,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
and
He's super
his
cool.
one of his friends, Sharkbait, and
Yeah.
that was just a couple days ago, and one of them said something about one of the guys that was on here who I don't think I had met yet. He said, "Yeah, I actually threw a grenade and it worked. Like I threw it the right way instead of I guess
Right.
hitting something and bouncing back and
Right.
whatever
Right.
else." So,
It's such an accomplishment.
right? Oh yeah, I think that's
It's
why a lot
such
of
an
people use
accomplishment.
those tag-ins, man, because
Right.
they're like um, they're really accurate.
Right. Right. Yeah. Taggins are like really, really, really good. They I don't know. I've got like somebody shot a tagging through a window one time, and I was watching the other window, and the guy didn't say anything. Right? He was like, "Oh," and I was like, "What?" Boom.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Like
and
damn.
I didn't have my I wasn't wearing my ear pro.
Yeah.
Um
Oh dude,
so so I was like rest of the day is just
ringing.
yeah. Yeah, it was
People are
really
talking, you
bad.
can barely hear them. It's like muffled. You're like, what? Oh
Right,
yeah.
right. It's like trying to listen to people with headphones while you're listening to
Right.
music. You're like,
You see their mouth moving, but bro, I don't.
right.
Yeah, lip reading.
Yeah, it gets interesting.
So how did you get honey badger? Did you come up with that, or one of your
No,
friends, or?
no. So I'm actually really happy you asked. So I've been playing airsoft like on and off for like 12 years.
Gotcha.
Right, ever since I was like little. I'm only like 23. So
Okay.
like ever since I was like 11, 10, and like getting to that age where you can start playing, but I played like backyard where we didn't wear goggles, I we ran around outside and just shot each other and was like, "Hey,
Yep.
you're hit. I know I hit you. That hurt." From 5 feet away with no MEDs, any FPS, the
Right.
Walmart guns, the Black Ops guns,
Right.
But long story short, we talked to a lady that lived nearby that owned 4 acres of land, and she kept it up. And so we were like, "Hey, is there any way we can play airsoft here? We'll bring a couple friends out sometime." Blah blah. She was like, "Oh yeah, anytime." So we actually used to host like 20 people events. Like
Damn.
with our friends. Yeah, we used to have like S&D, capture the flag, like on this 4 acre lot,
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. We used to come up with different ideas. You take out your phone, use like a bomb app or something, so it blew up. Put some speakers on the phone,
Oh shit.
Yeah, we try to do the most. We actually got flags and things like that. So we try to do the most. We just did it with a bunch of friends, You got a lot of people into it.
Yeah.
But long story short, one day we came back from one of those things, and my brothers, we were all kind of like, "Yo, we should make call signs for each other. We're brothers. We play airsoft." And so they go right off the bat. They were like, "Your call sign's Honey Badger." And I was like, "Why Honey Badger? Out of everything,
Right.
why Honey Badger?" And they were like, "Because you don't give up." Like you don't care. Like if the bees are flying your way, if you can like move and dodge it, if you can see them, and you're gonna move and dodge and like bob your head and keep shooting. You're unlike other people where they at that time, at a young age they would run away or try to hide.
Yeah.
And I was just the dude that was like, "Oh yeah,"
Real aggressive.
Right, very aggressive. And then I was the dude that always did like the little extra most, like army crawled under the bush, as a kid, just to get the one up on a team because nobody expected it, because we're on a 4 acre lot just having fun. Nobody expected it. It was so cool. So they were like, "Your name's Honey Badger." And I was like, "You know what? I like that. I'll take that," because they're ferocious, they're mean, but they can be caring to their own, So I was like,
"Gotcha.
I'll take that." So ever since then, this last year I started taking airsoft like really seriously.
Gotcha.
So ever since then, I was like right off the bat, call sign Honey Badger. My brothers gave it to me. Been playing with it. They don't play anymore, so sadly. But I've been trying to get them out. I was like, "Come on." But
Now these are older or younger brothers?
Younger brothers.
Okay.
I have 2. We're all 1 year apart. Yeah.
Bro.
Single mom.
Oh,
single
shit.
Mom. Yeah.
With
3 boys, 1 year apart. No job because she was on disability. I had to take care of her being the oldest. But yeah, man, it was.
Gotcha.
It was. It was crazy, man.
I'm sure.
But mom taught us because my whole family's military, and mom was like, "If you're gonna have an airsoft gun, you got to know how to properly work a firearm, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So instead of getting us a firearm, and we had the airsoft gun, she would teach us how to break down the airsoft gun and how to. Oh yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Mom was a beast, man.
Yeah.
Mom was a beast, but she before she got real bad, with the disability. She used to teach us stuff. She was like the best shooter in her ROTC class.
Oh shit!
And back then, for a woman to be a really good shot, my mom's old, like 50, almost in her 60s.
Yeah,
if not, But so she was like the best shot. She used to tell me I could put 2 in one hole, and I'm like, really? I couldn't believe it, but. Anyways, yeah, so mom used to teach us gun safety. So when we brought the guns in the house, we had to disarm them, and
Right.
just like you have in your
Clear
safety
the
briefings
weapon.
now,
Yeah.
right, take the mag out, and then if we didn't play for a while, hey, time to clean them, so the money didn't go to waste.
Right. Man, that is awesome. Yeah, that's a good mom right there.
Oh man, love my
Yeah, those
mom,
are
man.
life, lessons, life basics, like principles that never go away. When you learn, that stuff
Oh
at a
yeah,
young age, and it's really important.
yeah, yeah. It is. Matter of fact, when I became an adult and I acquired my own firearm, it kind of relates a lot.
For
When mom
sure.
was teaching me, because she would always say, this is a real gun if it was this way, on some things, because
Right.
it's not all the same sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, all the basics, especially with airsoft guns compared to like what I played with paintball. Airsoft has the replica guns, so
right,
you can train, like do all your basic training
right,
on airsoft guns with, swapping mags, the all the safety stuff, clearing the weapon, all the practice,
yep,
holstering, unholstering,
yep,
slinging, whatever. One of the guys that I've done a podcast with, talked to a few times, Gunfather Milsim. He has his own
right,
YouTube channel. He does a
right,
lot of training videos.
yeah,
Uh, Baba Tactics.
Bubba Tactics,
Yeah, he's in Belgium. He does a lot of training stuff on his Instagram. You can do all that shit with airsoft guns because of replicas, especially
oh,
the ones that are like full steel or whatever, that weigh pretty close to the real
right,
ones.
right.
You get all the muscle memory and all that shit, man. It's really helpful.
And
Uh,
sometimes they retract the same way too. Like
right.
there's a couple dudes at D14 airsoft that have guns that most of the parts on them, even though they're airsoft, is
Hmm.
real steel, 100%.
That's what I've
So
heard.
yeah, yeah, it
See,
gets
I
real
didn't know that
interesting.
until I was talking. This is just recent. I think is it the MTW? Is that one of the
Yeah,
ones
yeah,
that I think that's one of the ones that has interchangeable part? Like
yeah,
a lot of the stuff is real,
yeah,
real steel stuff or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
My
that's cool.
my HBA primary actually has a real steel rail.
Nice.
So some, like I said, some guns are compatible, some aren't.
Right. Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, you can do all that. That's cool that your mom taught you guys all that stuff. That was something I'm sure you heard on previous podcasts. I did that with our kids. That was really important.
Yeah, I
And I
have.
didn't grow up with that. We were not allowed to have guns around and that stuff,
Right.
until my dad got me a pellet gun. And that was, I think I never shot a pistol before I went went in the military. I
Right.
shot my dad's friend had a 308, or no, yeah, it was a 308, but it was an old Mauser, like an old, like World War II weapon or something like
Right.
that,
Right.
some 30 caliber. And I shot that like twice. And I think that was it. And then I went in I went in
That
the
was
military. So
right. That was it. I was listening to your other podcast when you're talking about like crawling in the forest at a young age, and I was like, "Yo, that was me."
yes.
I
Yeah,
understand.
dude.
It's a whole different feeling. It's awesome.
It feels good, man. Especially when you're young, you're growing up, you don't, if there's not a whole lot to do around where you're at, like you just get creative.
Oh
So
yeah.
you go outside, you're like, hey, what are we going to do? And
Right.
now at
We
the
picked
time I
that.
started going in the woods, I didn't have, I mean, I had friends and stuff, but none of them were real close to where I lived. A couple of them had moved away and, on our street and stuff. So I started
Right.
spending all that time in the woods, man. I loved it. I just hung out. Like I was okay being by myself. Like I
Right.
didn't mind.
It's awesome. Yeah.
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 And then at night, I never slept. Like I
Oh,
would stay
dude.
up all fucking night and draw. I was big into drawing. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, I was not allowed to have, I was supposed to be asleep. So I would light
Right.
this candle. I'd turn my light off and light this candle in my room and draw by candlelight so that my parents didn't see that my light
Right.
was on. I'd be up till like 3 a.m. and I can't get up for school. They're like, why are you so tired? I'm like,
Right.
dude, you don't even know. Oh yeah.
That's awesome. So how I was watching, like I said, I've been watching the podcast, but how long have you been? I know you said you had like 5 other accounts or 3 other accounts, whatever.
Yeah.
How long would you say collectively you've been on YouTube?
Let's see, 7 years, I think. Yeah. So the first one I started was the one for my family. I
Right.
really didn't want to do anything with that as far as YouTube goes. You know, it was
Right. Right.
just for access to videos, you know, for the kids
Right.
and stuff for my
Right.
mom to see.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
then we had a review channel was next, then
Yep.
gaming. Well, this one
History.
gaming, then a cooking channel,
Mm-hmm.
and I forgot about two other ones. There was a time lapse one that I was going to do,
Oh.
and yeah, so I would do like part of my rehab that I was doing for my son, my physical rehab, when I was trying to get better. I would chop wood and dig in the backyard. So
Oh,
I would
that's cool.
set up, I would set up the GoPro and just put on time lapse because I'd be out there for like 3 fucking hours. And
Wow. Some people like
so
that stuff, you know. A lot of people
yeah,
like that stuff, like seeing like things grow and stuff. You know?
right. Yeah, there's so and then I started a kids channel because I was filming my granddaughter who was, you know, this is last year, 2 at the time. And
Oh,
so we were like reading her books. And
yeah.
so I just took us reading the books, like just took the audio and then took pictures of the books and then like kind of put them in like I forget what it's called. There's some kind of photo feature that I was using, but like the stop time thing, you know, like you ever see those claymation videos
Yeah.
where the little characters move around? Like,
Yeah, they're like little like mini seconds like
yeah.
put in. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was doing that, and so I did a handful of videos on that, and I couldn't keep up with everything. Once I started working
Mm.
last year, then all that shit went away. I'm like,
Wow. Yeah,
I don't have
yeah,
time for any of this stuff.
yeah.
Because the other thing was when we would have parties or we'd get together with my kids who have kids, you know, my grandkids and stuff. I'm like, they're like, are you going to hang out with us or are you going to be in there, you know, editing all night?
Right,
You
working
know?
all the time. Yeah.
Right. So I had to kind of just figure out what I wanted to spend my time on.
Yeah, man.
You
If there
know,
was more time in the day,
right?
as some
Yeah, I
of the
went
most
to
famous people have said.
oh, for sure. Well, I heard this business guy talking, this very successful guy one time. He says, you know, here in America, you can do whatever you want with your life. You can choose whatever path you want. Okay. You know, once you're an adult, whatever, you can choose whatever path you want, but you can't do everything in life. You can do anything you want in life, but you can't do everything you want in life. So you got to kind of prioritize and choose you know, where you put your
Yeah.
time and effort and money and all that kind of stuff. And he was talking about this book, The Power of Focus.
Hmm.
So really good book, you know, especially for somebody like me who's fucking scatterbrained as hell, bro. Like I'm like,
Dude.
I work 10 minutes on this and then 10 minutes over here and
Oh man, I feel that. I have ADHD like real bad. So
Mhm.
like, especially like when I'm packing airsoft stuff. Oh, it's terrible because I'm over there. Okay, do I have it? Okay, I got batteries. Okay, I got cameras. Right. Okay, I got the GoPro. Okay. Wait, is everything charged? Okay, yeah, I did that. You know, like,
Yeah.
do I have my shells with the CO2? Okay, I got, you know, you go through the list, but when you have ADHD, it's like, okay, and you do it all once, right? That's not good enough. No. You got to
Yeah.
at least count 3, 4 times, and you're like, okay, I got everything. And yeah, it gets bad.
I do the same thing. I'm like, you know, I'll start on something and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay focused this time. I'm going to finish this. 20 minutes in, I'm like, I start getting bored and I go, and I think, honestly, I think it's subconscious. I think I kind of try to make an excuse in my head to leave the project to like either go grab a beer or step outside or like just something else, you know, for
Right.
like 15 minutes. So then I come back and do something else and then I get distracted.
Yeah.
It's
You gotta
yeah,
clear
it's
your mind sometimes, man. You know,
yeah.
it's like reading a book. You know, like some people they can read a book all the way through and be okay, but some people they get done maybe 2, 3 chapters and they're like, okay, you know, like I want to read
Yep.
it, but I'm done reading it.
Yep. Yeah, that happened to me a lot when once I started reading like the business and self-help kind of books or whatever.
hmm
Now novels, if it's an you know engaging like intriguing novel,
Right.
Jack Carr is a former Navy SEAL. and for like 20 years, you know, he's retired,
Right.
and he started writing books. He's got a whole slew of them out. Terminal List.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
I actually, I I actually was looking at that not even like 7 hours ago.
No shit. So I bought the first 3 books, and I read the first one, bro. Like those kind of novels, it grabs you, you know, it grabbed me. Like I was into it. So that one I didn't have a problem finishing. You know, I wanted to read it every time, like I had a downtime or whatever. But and I heard they're making a show on it too, like a Netflix show.
They are
with what's that dude's name? Pratt. Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yep. It's funny that you mentioned that because Ghost, right? Modern Warfare Ghost. Him and I talk sometimes.
Oh, who's that? Jammer?
Yeah, Jammer. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
He's a Special Forces Marine. Mm-hmm. You know, he was in the
Yeah, he's a super cool guy, man. Super cool guy. But I was talking to him because, you know, he's Call of Duty Ghost, you know?
Right.
And that was like my thing growing up. You know, I used to play like Call of Duty like all the time. I was like an amp, which is like an amateur. You know, I go to events, but I wasn't like a pro or anything.
Gotcha.
But him and I were talking, and he was like, before I made like my patches, I sent him a design, and I was like, what do you think? You know, just out of nowhere. And he was like, those are cool, man. And I was like, well, I'll send you one. You know? And he was like, I'd love to have one. He's a great guy, man. Great guy.
Yeah, I just started following him on Instagram. Like, I just found him, like maybe not even 2 months ago. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. That, you know, another jarhead. All right. Now, way more experience than I had. You know, he's a Special Forces, but I love his, you know, his following his Instagram. And there was somebody, I think it was Jenny Lynn. There's a handful of people that I was watching some of their like videos because Corey Haynes put together. He does a lot of drawings. He's on Instagram, Tactical Dork.
Yeah.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
He's a super good artist.
Oh, he did Sinister's profile, right?
Yep.
Sinister's, yeah.
Yeah, he did Little Miss Airsoft, you know, new picture or whatever. I mean, he's done a lot. So I saw, you know, so I think there was a connection. I can't remember. I think that's how I found Jammer, was through one of those, you know, either Jenny Lynn,
right,
Airsoft or Sam, or Corey, one of those. Because Corey had done a couple of short films,
right?
Hitters, and then, damn, I can't remember the other one. But anyway, so, but yeah, that's so I found him just recently, and I've been watching his stuff. He's cool as hell.
Oh, dude, great guy. Great
guy. It's cool when I start talking to, you know, guys like you, where all these people I talk to on here, I don't know that you guys actually know. Now, you can see on somebody's Instagram post, you know, if somebody posts something, you can see, you know, the names come up, like who liked it.
Right.
But that doesn't mean, you know, you actually talk to that person or whatever. So while I'm talking to somebody on here, they're like, oh yeah, I know this person. I played with that person. We played the same field. I'm like, holy shit, you know, I didn't know. So it's pretty cool for me to find out how everybody's connected that way.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting actually, because like, I don't know, just out of nowhere, a couple like different like big people started following me here and there, and I was like, whoa, and then like here and there, and I was like, whoa, and then this and that. I was like, yo, calm down. But it was really exciting, and then when all that happened, it's just like, you know, I try to be a genuine guy, so like putting that out there. And like most of the time, people are receptive of that, and especially, you know, if someone's like a real genuine guy like yourself, you know, you make podcasts, you come off very, you know, opening and very, you know, arms like, hey, what's up? Let's talk. You know? And so like it's a door opener, as you can see. I mean, you've talked to plenty of people, so.
I was actually talking to somebody last night, and that kind of thing came up, you know, and I'm older and, you know, growing up, well, not growing up, but I guess, you know, after the military,
Hmm.
it was when my kids were younger. I had this, I think after I got in the military, I was like, I felt like I had to have this kind of persona, like the strong silent type, right?
Right, right, right.
And macho, strong silent type. Yeah.
Hmm.
Once people, you know, hear you're a Marine, they see a tattoo, they, you know, and I felt like I had to be this kind of like this is
Way.
what I wanted to be like. Cause, you
Yeah,
know, I grew up watching Rambo and, you know, like, oh yeah, that's what I'm going to do, you know?
yeah.
And it wasn't until later on that, because I think my personality type is a little more serious as well. So I'm not the joke around you know, all the time kind of person.
Right.
But so I really had. But the other thing is, I love people. I love hanging out with people.
Hmm.
The problem was, I didn't know I was kind of pushing people away because they were intimidated. I didn't know that they were intimidated.
Oh,
I
just
wasn't
like
trying to be
instantly.
intimidated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was unapproachable, right? So it was like I had this, you know, resting bitch face. Like I looked like I was angry all the time because I was focused or I was serious,
Right.
and so it took quite a few years. I didn't really like make this a project. Like I want to change. It just
Hmm.
what I wanted was a different result. I wanted to be able to hang out with people and them to feel comfortable because I love talking to people where I want to hear their story. I want to hear, but you know, when you start talking to somebody and they're a little, especially when you first meet them,
Yeah.
if they if they don't feel comfortable, they're not going to say like if they feel like you're going to judge them
Hmm.
for what they've done in life or what they do in life, you know, uh, then they're not going to open up.
Right.
And to me, I don't like the superficial shit. Like,
Yeah.
oh, how's the weather? Okay, you know, I mean, that's a good icebreaker, but like let's be friends, okay, let's
Let's.
talk about let's
Yeah.
be comrades, right?
Yeah.
And let's talk about real shit, right?
Right. Let's
And
get
so
into it. Yeah.
so anyway, I kind of started changing how well I didn't really change, you know what it was, I started letting go of this idea of who I thought I was supposed to be with this title of, oh yeah, former Marine with 5 kids and, you know, married for so long, whatever,
Right.
all this shit. Like everyone, I found out later, people like thought, oh yeah, you got your shit together, bro. Who has their shit together? Okay. Nobody.
Yeah.
Like we're all flawed in some way. We all have different, you
Right.
know, things where whatever. So
Right.
I
Right.
wanted people to be comfortable. And so I started kind of, I'm just myself. So this is me. So the way I'm now is I don't mind if somebody thinks I'm goofy or doesn't fit that profile of I'm a fucking badass, you know, whatever. Like,
Right.
hey man, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Right. Yeah. No, I understand to, the family extent, right? Because everybody was a Marine. They always, put that out the chest when they're walking, head
Yeah.
high,
Yeah.
not chin high, head high,
Right. Right.
Um, but I'm I don't know why. I'm 6'4", right?
Nice.
And so like people tell me all the time that I'm like at first naturally intimidating.
Sure.
And I never understood that because like I'm like, to me, like my mom used to tell like me like, oh, you've never met a stranger in your life.
Yeah.
Like I don't,
Like you make friends easy.
right. Just like you were saying, I don't like to talk about like the weather. Let's talk about like,
Yeah.
how's your day? What, not, oh,
Right.
my day was okay. No, how was your day? What
Right.
did you do? What came of it?
Like, oh, dude. All right. Well, listen, I'm fucking hungover. I feel like shit. Fucking
Right.
work sucks. Okay.
Right. Like, let me know. Let me at it.
Yeah. For
I
real.
tell people all the time, I got 2 years of one mouth, man. Go ahead and speak it out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. That's a really common thing though.
Yeah.
A bunch of our friends, my kids' friends, are, and one of my buddies is 6'10".
Wow. Wow.
Some of these guys' friends are 6'4", 6'7".
Right. Right.
So they and their friends, you know, are like 5'2". Like one of their buddies that they were in the wedding for, it was 5'2". So the wedding pictures are funny as shit. And then
Right.
my two, you know, two of my sons that are on the YouTube channel, they're you know, 6', 6'1", 320 pounds, and so you know, some of their friends look like dwarfs compared to these guys. But that's a
Standing
real
next to
common
him.
thing. The tall guys.
Hmm.
Um, I think it really comes from like when you're growing up, like if you grew really quickly, like if
Yeah.
you were tall in high school and you know, people just how it is. Look,
Oh,
you're going to
dude,
get
I
made
was.
fun of no matter what it is, whether you're
Yeah.
short, whether you're tall.
Tall.
If you're a normal height, you're going to get made for, you know, made fun of for something else. You wear
Right.
glasses, you don't wear glasses. You have
Yeah.
braces, you don't have braces. Your one tooth is just barely crooked and they'll make fun of that. Like
No,
that's human beings, man. Like it
it happens.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I
Sadly.
think a lot of those tall guys get like kind of a complex a little bit coming out of high school. Like I've seen some of them, you know, like kind of walking hunched down to try to
Yeah.
fit in, you know,
Yeah.
instead of standing up straight
Yeah.
because they're
Because
always looking down at everybody.
that's it. That's it.
Oh
And
yeah,
I've always like I just like I understand it to an extent, but I'm also like a skinny guy, you know. Like I'm
yeah,
athletic, but I'm skinny, you know. So like I'm not like the 6'4", 230
yeah.
pound, you know,
Right,
linebacker
The
or
Rock.
anything.
Yeah,
Right, the Rock or something, you know.
yeah,
No, I'm just a 6'4" here. I'm here, you know. Like, hey, how you
yeah.
doing? But
That's cool. Listen, you know, the really important thing that most people should start understanding, you know, and I wish I understood at a younger age, I guess, is be very comfortable with yourself. Like know your weaknesses and you can work on them, you know, and have that
right,
balance of, hey, I don't like being, you know, whatever about this, about myself. I would like to get better at some things, but don't, you know, get depressed over. Don't get, you know, don't beat yourself up too much. Don't be so
yeah,
hard on yourself about these things that you're not good at and don't force something that's not natural. So
you don't
work
have to
on your
feel them.
strengths, you
Yeah,
know, and you know, I know it sounds cliche as fuck, but love yourself. Like be comfortable with who you are and your personality. We all have those different little tweaks or whatever, you know, that are just
yeah,
different about our person. You and I might have the same personality type, but we're very different, you know. So
very,
there's
yeah,
all kind of
right.
different things that so we might think the same on a lot of stuff, but you know, our personalities are just a little bit different. That's just how people are, and we have to understand that and like, okay, this is just me, you know, it's
Right,
cool,
and it's
whatever.
super cool. Yeah, that. Excuse me. I tell
Yeah,
people all the time. I'm like, man, you know, I don't like people are. You know, sometimes people are a little weird. You know what
sure,
I mean? Sometimes people are a
yeah,
little weird, but everybody is so unique in their own way. Like this guy might look a little bit like this guy, but they're two separate. You know, like
right.
it's so cool when you get down to like the whole well, aspect of it, right?
It is.
It's super cool. Everybody has their own uniqueness about them, and it's like cool to learn why somebody is so different from somebody else.
I know. There's. Have you ever met people that are like they're always saying, you know, saying something about it or posting about like I hate people because you know if they see the bad stuff that people do, which you know is understandable,
Hmm.
but you know, most people really like the 99.9% of human beings really want to be around other people. We don't like being isolated. We
Right,
don't like being by ourselves. We want to
right,
connect with, you know, there's a thing inside of us that wants to connect with another human being
yeah,
on any level,
right, right,
and that's just a drive we have, and you know, so but being genuine, like you were talking earlier, and being you know comfortable with ourselves really helps that process along. Whenever you see those people that are like kind of that you can tell that they're not like comfortable with themselves, so they
right,
talk really kind of fake, not
yeah,
not in a bad way, like they're not
yeah,
negative, they're not
yeah.
mean, they're not whatever,
They're not
but
trying to be
yeah,
like
but then you have
yeah,
two of those people that sit and talk and you observe, like if you're around them and you're
right,
like, bro, can you just get over like whatever it is that's holding you back from being yourself? Because they're just, it's an awkward kind of like, man, just be genuine. It's okay. Let loose,
Right.
let go, just let go.
Right.
You know,
Be yourself. If you don't like something, okay, you don't
don't
like
worry
that.
about being judged.
Like, you don't like that. It's okay.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know? Like, there's and I actually had this conversation with somebody in another Discord the other day. They made like a new thing because one of their members had passed away, and their Airsoft team member had passed away. And so they made like a discussion group, like, hey, if like real talk, like whatever you have.
Yeah.
And a lot of the discussions about, how it's hard to open up sometimes as a man.
Right.
Right. And it, it goes both ways. It's hard to open up as a female. It's hard to open up as a male. It's hard to open up as anybody to anybody when you have walls up. Right.
Right.
But I think that's been like a big thing in history though. Like men are like the ones that like don't say, hey, I don't like this because of X, Y, and Z, because, they're scared of the repercussions. They're scared of now the Jimmy behind him, his best friend, right? Jimmy behind him, his best friend is saying, why does he, Yeah. So I think that if people just said more what they felt in a reasonable, conversation.
Right.
I think that a lot more disagreements would be solved just by words.
100%, bro. Dude, it is. So have you ever been around people, speaking of this, topic, where if you say something to somebody and it's constructive criticism, okay? Like, like just something really basic. Okay. Like, bro, why did you do it like that? We could have done it this way. And then instead of them going, looking at it objectively and saying, oh yeah, we could have done it this way, or no, I did this way for this reason, whatever. No, the response you get is, oh, okay, so I'm just a piece of shit then. I'm like, first of all, it wasn't personal. I'm talking about this one, specific job thing that we did.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is it personal? Like, I didn't even say anything about your character. Right. That doesn't mean you're a piece of shit. Like, why
do we have to take it there? Like, I'll just talk about this.
Yeah, dude. It's so frustrating. Like, how do you work with that? Right? Like, man. When somebody says something negative, most of the time I'm pretty self-reflective, so I like to get better anyway. So I look at my faults. I look at and especially when I started editing my own videos. I started a YouTube channel. It really helped. Man, it's like, honestly, it's like a therapy. It's like having a therapist, because I'm looking at myself talking with other people, and I'm going, why did you say that? Like, oh, I didn't like this, or I didn't like that. Like, I know I clear my throat too much, whatever. Right. Like, it's, so I know or I touch my face, like, or whatever, whatever the things is, those things are that I'm trying to improve. It's been a really good process for me to go through. And I think it's helped me it's definitely helped me deal with this, the illness I had, that came out of the blue, whatever, and the process of going through that. And this whole thing has helped in editing my own videos. If I just recorded this stuff and gave them to somebody else, or never edited them and just stuck them up, I don't think I would have the same idea or whatever about myself, where I don't think I'd be as comfortable with it, And now I feel very comfortable. I don't mind if somebody gives me constructive criticism. I would love some negative comments on a video. Hey, critiquing me, put them in. Exactly. Like, bro, like, shut up and let them talk, or don't clear your throat so much, or mute your mic, or what? I don't know. Tell me something. Okay.
Right. Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that, because like some of my friends that I play Airsoft with, right, when I play with them, I tell them, hey, if you see me do something that I could do better, tell me. Right. Let me know if I'm not clearing this building properly, or if I'm not, I pied too early, or if I didn't extend a certain way, or just different things. If I overshine the light, if I backlighted somebody, whatever it may be,
Right.
or if you're shooting far away, am I covering fire good enough? Am I thinking they're making it or not? Or is it actually working?
Right.
Like I tell all my friends that I play with, like, hey, just let me know. Just throw it out there, let me know. And
Yeah.
it sucks when you take that and you do it back, right? And you're like, hey, by the way, I saw you, blah blah blah, like you were just saying, and then they
Mm-hmm.
give you that response of, well, what do you know?
Like, oh, now we know we can't have a conversation about it.
Right? Why couldn't you just go, well, why that way?
Yeah.
Why would you do that way over my way?
Right.
And then actually hearing it and go, you know what? Next time I maybe need to do this a little better. Or, the conversations, and I actually learned to do that because I used to be a terrible conversationist.
Me
Like,
too.
terrible, man.
Bro, I couldn't talk. I in high school and right after high school, I was now once I was in the military, I could, opened up
Right,
or whatever, but
right,
I was very, very shy. Yeah.
right. Yeah, I mean, I never met a stranger, so I was like very vocal and I talked a lot, but that doesn't
Gotcha.
mean I was good at conversation.
I hear you.
um,
Yeah.
that's two different things. So,
Yeah, true.
but I think the coolest thing about learning how to conversate is like learning how to feel, in certain situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when people are like, my dog died or something, most of the time, it's like, if you're a friend to somebody, it's like, oh, that sucks, man, blah, 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 blah. But when you can conversate, it's like, dang, man, like what happened? Like, what's going on?
Right.
You ask questions to get questions and
Mm-hmm.
answers and conversate, and that actually helps people because they talk. Just like
Yeah.
therapy, you literally go in.
Yep.
Therapy is talking.
Absolutely. So I don't think I've ever mentioned this on a podcast, but maybe I have. So after I got back from overseas, I me and we had a company part. I might have mentioned this on one of them way back. I don't know. But anyway, I was stationed at Camp Pendleton, California,
Okay.
and we had a company party on a Friday. So a company party, we were part of Delta Company, and WFTBN was Weapons Field Training Battalion, and
Okay.
we had a party on at Camp Delmar. So if anyone's listening to this and have been, stationed at Pendleton, they know Camp Delmar. It's a very popular place. It's got the best fucking E-Club, which is like the enlisted bar on
Oh.
base. So
Okay.
whenever, if you ever say or hear somebody say E-Club, that's what it means, enlisted club. So they had this, but anyway, we had this big party. Me and my buddy get drunk as fuck. We go out in town, like off base,
Oh snap.
in Oceanside, California. So we're in this. We snuck into this bar. We were both 20. We weren't 21 yet.
Okay.
So we snuck in this bar. They actually
Happened.
served us drinks, right?
Right.
And we stole. We saw these keys laying on the bar. The guy must have went and take a piss. I don't know. But we went out. We just picked up the keys, went
Oh
out and
no.
stole his truck.
Oh
Okay, it was an
no.
old Ford truck. Yeah. So we stole his truck. We started driving around. We were just cruising the the beachfront, whatever.
Man, keeping the light on after dark, killing cars.
So well, we got busted. So I spent the weekend in San Diego jail, county jail.
Man.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Well, then my punishment was 6 weeks in Naval Hospital rehab. Okay. So full on in the hospital rehab, like
Rehab.
not classes
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
work. This is like you're there every fucking day.
Whew.
But anyway, so that was 6 weeks at Balboa Naval Hospital.
Oh,
And
that?
that's down by San Diego, California.
Okay.
So I go there, but I think the first week I was there, we get in there and there was a classroom setup. It was like our first talking class. We had to talk
Right.
about our feelings.
Right. Hi
Yeah,
guys, my name.
yeah. So this is all, it's a naval base, and the Marines is part of the Navy. So it's a, in our rehab class or whatever, it was like a mix of Marines and Navy guys.
Right.
Well, this guy walks in. We're all sitting in this classroom with desks, these tiny little desks, just look like, fucking high school and shit. So he walks in, he starts walking down the aisles, putting a piece of paper and a pencil on each of our desks. He gets to the front, and it's this short little dude, and with his giant gray beard. And he says, and he was a Vietnam vet. Okay. So
Wow. Wow.
yeah. And he says, write down 10 things you love about yourself. You got 10 minutes. And he walked out and closed the door. And I'm going, we're looking around like laughing
Right.
for like a minute. Right.
Right.
And then I'm staring at the paper going, I don't know what to write. Like, how can this be? Here I am. I'm in shape. I'm in a fucking Marine Corps. Like, I'm doing great. I mean, I just came back from overseas. I don't know what, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what to say on this paper.
Right. Wow.
It was a real eye opener for me. Honestly, from that day, that was a big changing point for me, where I was like, okay, I need to work on my self-image, because I don't know.
Right.
So I didn't know I had kind of a bad self-image, but a lot of those issues we were talking about just a minute ago come from a bad self-image, to be honest, where people get defensive, and they can't take constructive criticism. That comes from a low self-image. You're just automatically defensive when somebody says something. Hey, no, you're a good person, but this one thing you did, they can't separate the two. They think
Right.
this one thing they did that wasn't good enough, it means, that they're shitty,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not the case. So
Yeah.
I think if people would get more objective about those things, or I guess
Mm-hmm.
more, a better
Open.
self-image,
Yeah.
they could just be like, okay, yeah, this thing that I did, I don't have to be good at everything,
Yeah.
like you don't have to be good at everything. It's okay. Like, you can always improve on something. Well, how are you going to improve? You got to have somebody tell you. That's just the process, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and if somebody tells you, you got to be open to that. So where you just don't block it with, okay, I'm just a piece of shit then.
Right.
Like, dude.
And what sucks about that is, like, I like studying like cognitive behavioral science.
Me too.
So like
Yeah.
what goes on in your brain naturally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not any impulses that you create. It's your cognitive thinking. It just happens, right? And it happens because it starts happening like when you start from a young age. And
Right.
so a lot of issues that you know that happen when you get older, or a lot of habits, right? A lot of bad habits. It stems from childhood, or
Yeah.
teenage years, or some it doesn't even have to be a trauma, right?
No.
It doesn't even have to be a trauma. It Whatever situation or what you were taught, or because everybody's taught something different.
Sure.
Everybody's you and I might be taught to eat from a spoon with soup, but
Yeah.
somebody else might be taught to eat spoon with a fork.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so they think in their head that's the right way. And then when people bring up, well, everybody does this, when that, it's not always true, but maybe 95% of us do,
Right.
and it gets into a whole nother world. But it's a lot.
That's one of the issues, I think, is there's so many variables involved with, there's you as an individual, me as an individual, my whole makeup with,
Right.
my personality type, with whatever chemistry I have going on in me, plus all the things that my whole experience in life up to this point. And then, so all those different inputs. And then, so we, have you heard the story? It's a real common thing. Two people grow up in the same household, right? I read this story one time. This guy wrote this book it was a business book, and he had a twin brother.
Hmm.
They both grew up in the same house, single father, You know, their mom was gone, and their dad was, you know, an alcoholic.
Right.
So didn't beat him or nothing. Was just, you know, he was drunk all the time.
That's
Okay,
right.
didn't really pay attention to him, whatever. So negative experience with, you know, as they were growing up in those forming years. So as they get to be adults, one of them never drinks, like 100% won't touch alcohol because of how he saw his dad.
Right.
The other one, full-blown alcoholic because of his dad. Same exact reason, but they went two separate ways. So you have two different personalities, two different, you know, perceptions happening with the same situation, and they choose different paths because of, you know, a lot of it is because of how they take things and how they perceive things over the years. Exactly. So, yeah, there's so many variables when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I think that's why I like talking with people about real shit, about their life growing up. Hey, oh, you're in South Africa? How was high school? You know, like, what
how was growing up? Like,
what did you guys talk about? Like, do you guys have the same classes as us? I don't fucking know. Like, I'm sure I could find on Google or internet.
It's not the same. You know, like in your last podcast, we were, somebody else was saying, you know, anybody, I think it was Tonka, actually. Yeah, my buddy Tonka. He recently got a patch for me. It was a super cool guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Dude, super cool guy. I could talk to you for like another 3 hours, man.
Oh shit!
I like talking to people that that can conversate. You know,
absolutely.
And you know, and have a genuine conversation. You know, and like ask questions and, you know, find information. It's
I agree.
Really cool. I admin for 878 Airsoft. My home field's D14, but I admin for 878 Airsoft.
Yeah.
And because I admin for 878 Airsoft, I'm their party admin. I'm not like an admin. I'm their party admin. So when they have an admin come up, because they have different playing fields, they asked me, hey, could you come admin this day and blah, blah. Like, so today's Friday. So today's not a normal day. They're open Saturday, Sundays.
Gotcha.
And so I drive out there and admin for them. And
okay. So, now your home field is D14?
Yes, sir. That is my home field, D14 Airsoft. But I've gone to my buddy. Sorry, I'm trying to fix the camera just a tad.
Yeah, you're good.
My buddy was like, "Hey man, you wanna come play at 878?" Because he goes to 878. And
is that close? Like kind of the same area? Oh, really?
It's like an hour and 15 minutes.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm in like the Dallas area, and it's in Waxahachie. So it's really, really far. But
gotcha.
D14 is like 30 minutes. So an hour 15 compared to 30, right? So that's why I have to leave here soon, sadly. But
yeah, that's cool.
I would love to, if you ever want to talk more.
Absolutely, man.
We can finish up here. You know, if you have any questions or anything.
Yeah. So how did you become an admin? They just you were playing there a lot, and somebody just said, "Hey, would you help fill in?"
So what happened was I was playing there a lot, and I knew the admin. The admin was really cool with me. He knows, you know, I don't really break the rules. Like, I try to abide by the rules the best of my ability, right?
Sure.
Like calling my hits and so forth and so on. And so they pretty much was like, hey, because it's a big field, but they're having some issues. So they're working on all the issues, though, and getting it back up and running to its prime. And so they didn't have a party admin. They only had the field admin.
What's the difference?
So the difference
I never heard of that.
So the difference is like a party admin only admins for parties, right? So because they have different fields on like their big field, I can take the party and go to this field on this side and play just the party.
Oh, wow.
So the party doesn't have to be mixed in with the open play. They can have their own game. Yeah, gotcha. So it's really cool because it gives them, you know, a way to just play with themselves and not worry about anybody else. And,
Right.
you know, especially newcomers, they're like, yo, it's my birthday. But, you know, I had a dude, because, you know, I'm that party admin. I had a dude the other day when I was adminning, he was like, this is my sixth party here. And like, yeah, it was his 6th year in a row for his birthday. He started when he was like 10. He's like 16. He was like, man, I've been coming. I was like, what? But that's his, you know, airsoft. That's his airsoft. You know, he
Right.
doesn't come, you know, he comes once a year on his birthday. He loves airsoft, but that's when he comes.
Oh, that's cool.
So, but they pretty much, to answer your question, because I talk a lot, I'm so sorry.
No, don't be. I like that.
To answer your question, they pretty much was like, hey, you know, we don't have a party admin today. There's a party that just showed up. You know, we know you abide by the rules. You know the safety briefs. You've been playing airsoft for a long time. You know, would you like to do a party admin? And I was like, I mean, I'll try it out. And, you know, they paid me for it, of course. And
Right.
so I tried it out, and then they got a Google review that was like, oh, that was the best admin I ever had, or blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
shit.
Yeah, like 5 stars. And yeah, it was crazy, actually. Yeah, I was like, what? Like,
It feels good, though.
Right. I was like, man, I did a good job, right?
Right.
And so, but, you know, there's always room for improvement. So, they asked me, they were like, hey, you know, you got 5 stars on this last party. Is there any way you could do, you know, this party this day and this party this day? And so pretty much it was like, hey, you're a party admin now.
Okay.
So
I think that's probably how a lot of people start out with, you know, when they help out on the field. It's like, oh, can you feel it? You know, you're here all the time. Can you feel it? And it kind of just grows. You kind of find your spot.
Right.
That, you know, is good for, you know, them and you.
Right. Like, so, D14, how they work is exactly that. Is you have to be a regular player at D14, or, you know, at least know D14, been at D14 for X amount of time. You know what I mean? Like a long period of time for them to be like, okay, all the admins know you by name. Like all the admins know you by your skill. You know what I mean? Like all the admins know if you're a loudmouth, if you're blah, 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 because of so many years of you know what I mean? Playing.
Right.
So at D14, they're, you know, after so many times of, you know, everybody seeing, if everybody's like, okay, yeah, you work, they'll be like, okay, you're an admin. Or, you know, if you want to become one, they don't just go, hey, you want to, you know, be an admin. But if you were like, hey, I have interest in being an admin here, blah, 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 you know, then that's how it transpires there.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nifty, actually. It's pretty nifty how I think that's most fields too. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure.
Hold on. I'm writing it down
now. I'm pretty sure most fields are, you know, like that, you know, because the regulars know regulars, right? So they can be like, hey, man, come on, bro. Like, you know, I have to abide by the rules. I have to make sure you abide by the rules.
Right.
But then you get into the issue sometimes, right, where it's like, you used to be a regular, now you're a player, and now your friend that's a regular might have broke this sly rule or whatever, you know.
Right, the favoritism thing, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've talked about other people, you know, it's a thing, it happens.
Of course.
You know, it sucks, but at the same time, you know, I wear a patch that says, quit moaning, you signed a waiver, you know what I mean? Like,
nice.
You signed up to get hit by BBs. You know, that's how I look at it.
When I'm an admin, I'm nobody's friend. Okay.
Exactly. And that's how I admin, right? When I'm party admin. Like I've had friends do a party or whatever, and I'd be admin. They're like, man, let me do this. I'm like, nah, bro. that's not happening. And they're like, oh, okay, well, I understand, because, you know, they understand. But you know, when you're an admin, it's different. You know, when you're playing, it's one thing. When you, and that goes for anything, not even just airsoft, right? When you're an employee at a business and you've been at the business for X amount of years, and your, you know, 3 best friends have been at the business for X amount of years, and now you're the big dog, you know, and let's say X friend does Y and you can't do Y, and now you know you have to take on that role and go, this is my job, this is what I have to do. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, right? If you're my
Yeah.
friend, you would understand and you'll be
Yeah.
accepting and we'll be good after this.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially with, I mean, and that goes, I guess, kind of like across the board
Hmm.
with airsoft or jobs or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
bro, do your job. That's it.
exactly.
Okay. Like, you already know the rules. Don't act
Exactly.
dumb. Okay. Don't act like
Exactly.
you don't know the rules.
It's same thing if you have a wife, you know.
Of course, bro.
Same, you
I
have your
know.
honeydews and you know what I mean. Same
Yeah.
thing. If you don't, if you one day might get that, okay, you were right from Bay, that one up. You can't
Yeah.
just, hey Bay, remember I was right that what? Oh yeah.
Hey, bro, this is why I drink so much. I've been married 30 years.
Oh,
I'm
I used to
telling you,
be
man.
I used to be in
Uh-uh.
the moving industry, right?
Okay.
And so oh, dude, the amount of people that like come up with a joke about why they're married for so long is
Oh,
hilarious.
yeah.
Like, bro, people come up with the funniest things.
You know what? I
I,
always hated those jokes like that when guys would always say like, "Well, let me ask the boss before I commit to something." I'm like, what the fuck? What? Aren't you the boss of yourself? Like,
right, right. Isn't
I
it?
never ever have said, "Let me ask my wife." Like, bro, if you're asking me to do, hey, you want to go play airsoft, or you want to go play paintball, or you want to go, hang out or whatever.
Right,
Unless it's a couples thing, that's different. Like, hey, let me see if she's free. Totally different.
100%,
But
100%.
I'm my own person. Just because you get married doesn't mean you lose your fucking identity, bro. Like,
Yeah,
goddamn.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
hell no.
That happens. I hear that a lot too. Like
When guys
actually.
would say that, I'm like, yeah, you're not somebody I would like be close with. We're not hangout buddies. We're not drinking buddies. Okay? Because you'd have to ask your wife for every fucking thing. Nope, not me, bro. I'm
you
gonna do what I do,
remember
and she can just
wife
whatever.
said 9 o'clock.
Fuck that. I've never been that way. Never gonna be that way. And my wife, she knows that from the beginning. She married me when I was still in the Marine Corps. So
Yeah, I
this
was
is,
listening to that.
yeah, she's like, she's very independent as well. So we are both 100% independent and we like hanging out. So
Right?
that's how we're married. So,
Double whammy.
and we've had a lot of conflict through our marriage, butting heads,
Yeah.
and we came out stronger for it. So we're fine. It's good.
Right? That's
But
good.
I am not
Yeah.
asking permission for fucking shit, okay? Not
And
happening.
at a certain point, you have, ask your hey, what do you think about this couch? What do you
Well, it affects
right.
something that affects both of us in the house or around the yard or something that's totally different.
Exactly.
Hey, let's collaborate. But something that is only affecting me, y'all can fuck off. I'll make my own decision. That's just what I do. So
Well, man, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm so sorry
dude.
I have to cut this
No,
short.
don't apologize. I appreciate you being on, dude. We will definitely do it again sometime.
Hell yeah, I would absolutely love it, especially if we had a little bit more time. I know we could probably sit here and talk for like 2-3 hours, man.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're able to talk like that and it's comfortable and we have a good time, chatting. So, well, I'm glad I met you.
Well, it's definitely a pleasure. This is the
Awesome.
first video call besides like a couple people, right, that I've had that I've like done from online. Like
Gotcha.
I've video called like a couple guys that I know or I talk to a lot, but
Yeah.
not like this, like what's up,
Right?
So this is really cool. I appreciate the opportunity for real.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Where can people find you online?
Callsign.honeybadger.
And then do you stream for gaming or no?
So I used to stream.
Okay.
That's what the Discord name is for.
Right.
That,
What is it? Logic's
Unknown. Yeah, yeah. That's the gaming Discord. But
Okay.
yeah, everything like. So my main thing is like Instagram. I'm working into YouTube. YouTube.
You got a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
you got a bunch of good videos.
I got 3 videos, but I appreciate it.
I mean, that's a bunch. It's more than 2.
Hey, I was actually ecstatic. They got like 150 views on one of them, and that was like my first like actual one that I sat down
Yeah.
and edited. And I have so much more appreciation for people in video editing, man. Oh my gosh.
Me too.
Oh my.
Me too.
I really do. Like I sat there. It took like hours and hours, and I'm still learning the software and everything. So,
Sure.
but it's still like, even though like the things I do know, I'm like, oh, well, I did it better this time, or
Right.
And so it's cool to see, and I have a lot more appreciation for YouTube. But yeah, YouTube and Instagram. I do have a TikTok, but like TikTok's like my feeding, right, for exposure into Instagram. So I use it for extra exposure on a different social media.
Yeah.
But I post the same things on Instagram as I do on
gotcha.
TikTok.
Now, is it same thing like a honey badger on TikTok as well?
Yeah, everything
Okay.
everything should be callsign.honeybadger.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Awesome, man. Well, I'll tag that in the video here
Well, I do
and the
appreciate
post.
it. Hell yeah, man. I do appreciate it. If you need like a picture or anything like to use as a thumbnail, or because the pit vipers are kind of I'll send you like a bunch of pictures, or you can go through my Instagram and be like, I want that one.
Whatever you like, because I don't care. Whatever you prefer is good.
I'm not one to be like, oh, I wish you would have chose this one. I'm honored.
I'll find one from your Instagram then.
Perfect. I'm just honored that you messaged me and was like, hey, do you want to do a podcast? I was like, I was sitting down eating pizza and I was watching a movie and I was like, pause the movie. What? I was like,
I'm glad.
Yes, hell yes, I'll get involved in it.
Awesome, dude. Well, I appreciate that. But man, it's been great talking with you. You have fun tonight.
Well,
driving your hour and a half to
admin
on Friday the 13th with fucking what is it? Rush hour traffic through Dallas.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No. Oh, you had to remind me, didn't you?
I mean, I feel for you.
Awesome.
Have a good night, bro.
Adios. Bye.
Later.